And I remember that morning. It was one of those clear, crisp, beautiful November Colorado morning, high country mornings, cold and magnificent. You could see forever. I agreed to take 4 others on a ride in my plane, and we went down to the airport, did every test you're supposed to do, ran up the engine and pre-flighted the plane, did the whole thing, taxied out to the end of the runway, started the takeoff roll, got into the air just a few feet. Something was wrong. Something was terribly wrong. The plane was not flying as it should, and ahead of me were rocks and rough terrain, but below me still was some runway. There was still a chance to put it back on the ground. I had to make an instantaneous decision. I pulled the power. The plane stalled. Now, for those of you who are not pilots, stalling doesn't mean that the engine stops running. Stalling means that the wings stop flying and the plane fell like a rock, smashing back into the runway. All I could think about was an explosion. The tanks were completely full of aviation fuel. I yelled at the passengers, "Get out now! Force the doors open! Get out!" And one of them was able to wedge a door open, and they crawled away, and then they ran away, and that was my turn. I started to climb out of the plane. I had to hurt. My feet must have been stuck under the rudder pedals. I just had to lift harder. It was then that I started to feel the pain in my back. Started to sense the numbness in my legs. I couldn't move my legs. The ambulance crew came and removed me from the aircraft. They took me to nearby Gunnison Valley Hospital, where another team was waiting for me, and there they stabilized me and diagnosed me and set up a phone link to Denver, arranged for a Flight for Life aircraft. And then one of those nurses rode with me to Denver so I wouldn't be alone. And in Denver, another team was waiting. They performed a laminectomy, and again, you in this room know what most audiences don't. They actually looked at my spinal cord, could find no visible damage, and for the next few days did every test imaginable. And on the morning of the 3rd day, the neurosurgeon came in to see me to tell me, "Mitchell, it appears that you're paralyzed. You're not going to walk again, Mitchell. You're going to have to use a wheelchair from now on to get around." Why me? Why me? What did I do to deserve this stuff? I hadn't hurt anybody. I was trying to save 4 other people's lives in my plane. I was driving my motorcycle to work. Why me? It was a couple weeks after that a young woman from Crested Butte called me on the phone one day. She said, "Mitchell, I know from our friends who've come down to see you and people that have been talking to you on the phone that you're going through some tough times. Mitchell, do you remember about a year ago when I was having some difficulties in my life? You told me something then that I'll never forget. You told me that it's not what happens to you. It's what you do about it. Do you still believe that, Mitchell?" Don't you hate it when people do that to you? I mean, is that the worst? That advice was for her. That was good advice for her. Leave me alone. I'm enjoying being miserable.